on, guys? It's Big Nasty, and we're here to kick off day 4 of Scare If You Dare, 31 Days of October. Today's movie is going to be Sinister. The release date for this film was October 12th, 2012. It was directed by Scott Dickerson, and it was written by Scott Dickerson and C. Robert Cargyle. The movie starred Ethan Hawke, Julie Ryland, James Ransom, and Fred Thomas. Alright, guys, here's 5 cold hard facts about this film. Writer C. Robert Cargyle got the idea for the script from a nightmare he had after watching The Ring. The name Bagul translates back to boogeyman. The sheriff in this movie was actually played by Fred Thomas, and he was a former Republican senator from Tennessee. He also sought to get a nomination for president. Ethan Hawke, believe it or not, is actually a writer in real life, which he plays in this movie, having written 2 novels, The Hottest State and Ash Wednesday. In the scene where a scorpion and a snake are shown in the attic, these are 2 forms of Bagul, as depicted in the ancient drawings given to Ellison by Professor Jonas in the movie. Alright, guys, here's my review. This movie's about this controversial writer named Ellison Oswald, who's a true crime novelist. In this movie, he pretty much moves his family into this new house, which, isn't a bad thing, except for the fact he forgot to tell them that murders took place in the house. So while they're living in the house, a few strange occurrences start to happen. He thinks nothing of it. Then all of a sudden, he's messing around the attic, and he finds this old box of film reels. And he decides he wants to watch them. As he slowly starts watching them, he realizes that the films are more like snuff films. It's the murders of people who may have lived in the house that he's in, but he's not 100% sure. So he ends up going to this college to speak with this professor, and that's when we learn, and the first time we hear of Bagul in this movie, which translates to boogeyman. Basically, Bagul is what's causing all this disturbances. As Elliot slowly starts to lose his mind trying to figure out what's going on, the sheriff gets involved because he's a big fan of the novelist, and he decides to try to help. Well, he finds out something very sinister. So after the sheriff starts helping, things only get weirder. So Elliot decides maybe it's time I need to get my family out of this house. And they leave the house. Well, he gets a phone call, but unfortunately for him, he does not answer the phone. It was the sheriff on the other end. He had finally figured out the connection of what was going on in that house. Essentially, every family that lived in that house after they moved out, they were murdered. And their child went missing. Is that what happened to Elliot and his family? You might have to watch to find out. Well, that's been my review of this film. If you would please like, share, and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. And keep living the nightmare one dream at a time. Peace.